Hello friends, I'm Özgür from Adrenalin Detector. In this video I will show you, with the Blackeye model, how to detect gold. And what should be considered in the detection process. I want to show you this. First of all, before starting the detection process, if I have a sample with me, if there is an object, if I do not know the ID number I will search for, I will match the ID number with the matching process on this object. I will determine, first of all, I will show you how the pairing process is done, and I will signal the ground for about 10 minutes. I will identify the gold object buried in the ground. I will make the matching process. Gold object. 10 minutes of contact with the soil. As a result of this time, receiving unit, match will be made. Begins to react and perceive the test object. Gold. I will experiment with ID numbers 96, 97 and 98 to show you how to determine the detection number. First test ID right now. Number 98. After moving about 5 meters away from the test object slowly, I'm going to walk over the test object without shaking the device and try to measure how violently it reacts. I'm approaching slowly. I've got some reaction. 98. First with ID number. I performed the experiment and I will go over the test object again with ID number 97. I'm moving slowly. '97. I got a better response with the ID number. To make sure of this, 96 with ID number. I'm going to give it another try. Yeah, I can see from what I did that the reaction with ID numbers 96 and 98 was a bit weak. The strongest reaction was with ID number 97. Now I turn off my receiver unit, and using the transmitter unit, I can get an approximate. For 10 minutes. I will send a signal. At the end of this signaling process, gold buried in soil. I will identify the artifact. Sometime while preparing the device, I'm stopping the video. Now, 10 minutes with 97 ID numbers to ground with transmitter unit. I'll send a signal and make the call. Now, how do we sending a signal to the ground? I will show you First of all, I'm activating the transmitter unit, and I'm boosting the signal level. I'm changing the ID number here to 97. Data transfer. You can choose your cables by color, appropriate, into the output sockets, and into the ground. The distance between the two sockets press the electrodes down, wait 10 minutes. I'll continue. I'm going to stop the video now. Yes, I've sent a signal to the ground with the transmitter unit for 10 minutes. Now I'm going to carry out the search. The object I'm going to detect is the identical piece of the gold object I have. I'm putting this in my pocket. Metals in the air that are not in contact with the ground are very unlikely to be detected by the device, but metal objects buried in the soil can be easily detected. Detection. I will move 5 meters away from the transmitter unit and move in a counterclockwise direction. I'm going to do 3 laps. Right now, the floor is a little damp. If I was on dry ground, that wasn't damp. I would have to pour water between the electrodes that I stuck in the ground to get good signal transmission. Now I'm going to make 3 turns in a counterclockwise direction. About 10 meters. Apartment, I'm drawing. I got a reaction. The response is a bit low in the first round. When I get to the 3rd round, will be of high intensity. It got a bit stronger in the 2nd round. Yes, he did. Detection process. On this line is happening. I can identify the signal line here. This is, I can put the bushes here. Now to find the buried object, the line I set with the transmitter unit, I'm going to follow the progressive signal. 5 meters from the point I marked, I move in the opposite direction from the transmitter unit and move away from the signal line in 5 meters, so that the detection process can take place more easily. I'm going to apply an interrupt in a fully parallel direction. Yeah, There was a detection. Again, I'm trying to find the point where the strongest signal line and I'm going to set it up. Yeah, over there. Again, I'm repeating what I just did. I'm moving 5 meters towards the target. 5 meters of signal line. I'm walking away. Again, I will continue with the identification process. Yes, I will. Verici in this direction. The signal line is moving in this direction. I'm moving away again. Right side. Showed the receiving unit. Now, when the embedded object is passed for you to see, size, I'll show him the direction. Now it reacted in the opposite direction, and that the object I detected remained in the direction of the transmitter. It's no longer in the forward direction. There's no target I'm interested in. I'm coming back. Yes, this is the strongest sensing point. Now from this point to the transmitter unit, and set a line, I will try to center the detected object. For this process, from the signal line, I'll move 3 meters away and from 4 directions. I'll scan and create a square form. When I mark the direction of rotation of the antennas in this square form, the center point will be clear. The post, I can check it with a metal detector. I can get 3 meters off the signal line. Right? I'm moving in a parallel direction. Yes, the strongest perception is period. I am performing a marking process. Yes, I am. That area. And that field. To do this operation, 4 markers you can identify. And you can identify these intersection points. Among the lines I have identified, I will switch to the plus method. Device. The point at which it reacts will be the location of the target. In order to be sure of this point, it is necessary from opposite poles, I need to perform a centering operation. Yes, it is. This is the place. I'll take this and mark it. Now I will come from the other opposite pole. Yes, a marker. I'll put it here. Now markers. One here, one here, one here, one this way. One, two, three. Because the fourth is also small bushes. There was a line right this way. Yeah, that line. With bushes on all four sides. Normally, the test object is here. It's about 1 meter, 1.5 meters, in a diameter that will vary according to the depth and size of the detected target. We'll perform detection. You can do this using a metal detector. If you perform the punctuation, no signal drift. Now I will show you the detected object. Yes, it is. During the search, the object I detected was an identical piece of the other gold object. This is how the search and detection process works. If you provide yourself with good markers, punctuation would be much healthier. Hope to see you again. Have a good day.